Hello to all the families in the Cascade Pacific Council Wexter Jamboree Troop. Here's my first edition of Ask the Scoutmaster. As I think you know, a couple months ago I sent out a survey to each of the Jamboree families. I've received 21 of those back, and I'm looking forward to getting the other 15. In that survey, I asked you what the biggest question you had right now regarding the Jamboree. And I got quite a few great questions from the troop. I thought I'd use videos to answer these questions, so let's give it a try. Remember, I'm kind of an amateur at this, so I'm going to do the best I can. Let's get started. Jason asked, who is in my Jamboree troop? Well, Jason, they're all from Oregon, and there's some Jamboree troops in the council where there's boys from multiple states, but ours are all from Oregon. They represent 6 districts. There's 14 scouts from the Eagle Valley district, 11 scouts from Wapiti, and the other 4 districts have no more than 4 scouts each. They represent 12 different cities, and there's quite a range in those cities too. Newburgh has the most scouts in our troop at 9. Tigard is second with 6. By the time we're at the Jamboree, we will have 2 17-year-olds, 4 16-year-olds, 7 15-year-olds, 14 14-year-olds, and 9 13-year-olds. Only 2 boys in the troop have the same first name, and that name is Adam. Everyone else has a unique first name. Now for our next question. Joshua asked this one. Will I have all my required badges to be able to go? Well, right now, Joshua, you have 1 year to go. In fact, it's almost 1 year from the date that I've made this video. Here's my advice to all the scouts in the troop who still need to earn rank in order to achieve their first class badge by the time we leave for the Jamboree. Number 1, make a plan. So sit down and plan out what requirements you have to do and when you will earn them. That means you would set goals for when you would achieve each requirement. You'll think about the campouts and the hikes that are coming up that'll allow you to plan for achieving camping requirements. Ask your Scoutmaster to look over your plan and make sure that you can hit it. He'll help you with that. But don't wait very long to start making progress. The year, even though it's a year away, the year will go by quite rapidly, and before you know it, we'll be leaving. And I want you to be able to have all that requirement completed by then. You need to be a first-class scout. Our next question, Declan was asking, how long will the zip lines be? Well, I don't know the answer to that right now, but I'm thinking they will be in different lengths. There will be some standard sizes and some longer ones, and I think there might even be some really long ones. My best guess is that the lines will be set up and the courses will be set up in such a way that beginners will be able to get on there and get their taste of it, and then they're going to get a chance to get on the big ones. They've got professionals setting up these lines, and I think they're working it through so that every scout that wants to will be able to do it. It's very exciting. Make sure you go to the national website, the Jamboree website, and take a look at the videos on the zip lines alone. That'll get you pumped up. Next question, Jake wanted to know, who will I be hanging out with? I don't know anybody. Well, thanks for asking that one, Jake. There's a lot of scouts that are in your same shoes that are going to be in our troop. I know that it's important for all scouts to know that they will have a good tent partner. After all, they'll be stuck with that guy for the whole time while you're at the Jamboree, right? There's kind of a timing thing about how we'll pair up the scouts. We're not going to assign patrols until next year. You will eventually be camping as a patrol, so you'll at least be hanging out with those guys in the patrol. But for now, we're going to hold off assigning those. The tent assignments will depend a lot on who's in your patrol. I ask that you keep an open mind right now. As a troop, we will learn as much as we can about each other in the coming months before we make any of these tent assignments or patrol assignments. Adult scout leaders will eventually make the assignments themselves, but we'll use your ideas and your thoughts too to make those decisions. Now is your chance to start getting to know guys in the troop and talking it over with guys that maybe you'd want to be a tent partner with, so that you can be prepared to let us know when we get to that time. At the right time, I'm thinking we will assign tent partners first. Then we'll assign the tents to the patrols, 4 tents to each patrol. In the unlikely case, as time goes on, the tent partners don't get along with each other, we'll help you work that out, and we'll make whatever adjustments are necessary. So please don't worry about that. I've got some experience with it, and my experience in past jamborees is that it all works out very well, and everybody has a great time. So no worries. Our next question came from Brandon and Michael. They asked, what are the sleeping arrangements and the gear needs? Well, as I said, 2 scouts will be assigned to each tent, 4 tents per patrol. The youth leaders, senior patrol leader, assistant senior patrol leader, quartermaster, and scribe, are not members of a patrol, and they will tent together. There'll actually be 2 per tent. You'll bring your own sleeping bag and compressible pillow, and we'll talk more about the personal gear that you need to take later on. You will sleep on cots provided by the Jamboree when we get back there. Now this is pretty cool because the Jamboree has never provided cots for all the scouts. In the past, they'd throw their pad out on a ground cloth and sleep right on the ground. This time, every scout will have cots. It's fantastic. Regarding the other gear, most of what you bring will be in your personal stuff, and any other gear like the cooking gear, camping equipment, and all that will be provided by the Jamboree. It will be waiting for us in a case, big crate back there, and we'll arrive at the site, unload the crate, and set up camp. That's going to be fantastic. The next question Dan asked, and Michael asked a similar one, what all is there? What is there exactly? And I'm pretty sure they meant what program is there. Well, there's so much of the Jamboree that it's hard to describe all the things that are there in a short video. Most of what we do all during the coming months before we leave will be all about learning what the programs are and what the opportunities are and what the Jamboree has available to us. That's why we've said so many of these meetings are mandatory. Now, our gatherings right now in the next few months are not mandatory, but after November, all the troop meetings are mandatory, and the reason is that's how you learn about what's going on there and how you can be best prepared. As I've written and mentioned other times, the best way for you to have fun and the best way for you to have the best Jamboree experience you could have is to be prepared for it. So we're going to spend a lot of time on that. As an example, the all-day council training event in May, which is mandatory, May of 2013, will talk all about what goes on at the Jamboree. So that'll be even in addition to the things that we do in our troop. I definitely recommend that you watch the various videos about the Jamboree on YouTube, and that you watch the National Jamboree website. There's more information being shared in these places than I've ever seen in any other Jamboree. It's just incredible. Adam, one of the Adams, asked, what does a typical day look like? Well, right now it's looking pretty simple. We wake up in the morning, we get ready for breakfast. We have breakfast and clean up, and we pack our carry-with lunches. The whole troop is out of the campsite after breakfast and cleanup, and we don't return until it's time to cook dinner. There are after-dinner activities on most nights. We won't have much idle time. We're pretty much always doing stuff when we're back there. Keeping all that in mind, the Jamboree is still in a state of change. Since this is the first time ever at this new location, they will likely come up with improvements and changes that will make our days even more fun. The last couple of weeks, there's been a shakedown camp out at the Jamboree where 2,000 scouts went in there and used the equipment and set up in the troop sites and made a test run at setting up camp. And they've learned a lot from that, I'm sure. So we'll learn more. As I get information fed to me, I'll make sure that you all hear it. So that's it for this first edition of Ask the Scoutmaster. In a week or two, I will post up another episode with the answers to more questions that you've sent me. And for those who haven't yet returned their survey, I'm really looking forward to receiving them. So for now, this is Mr. Westover signing off. See you next time.